Ninh Binh, a small city in northern Vietnam, also known as the Halong Bay Island. But what are the must-see sights in this magical destination? Well, I took a tour that rolled all of them into one, so you can see if this place should make your list on your next trip to Vietnam. The trip today was going to be a long one, a full day consisting of 4 different sites dotted around Ninh Binh. Caves, mountains, nature and history, and some beautiful sites we were definitely going to have to work for. So I'm currently waiting outside the actual homestay now. I've just realised that I never received any confirmation about pickup time. All I have is it's saying it starts at 8:30 on the ticket that I've got. Normally you get a pickup time when you book through, get your guide 24 hours before. And I haven't received that. Luckily there's a number on there, so I messaged them. They said the driver should be here in 15 minutes, so at least it's still on. Just waiting around and see when they turn up now. So it definitely took longer than 15 minutes, but the driver did eventually arrive. I think I was one of the last pickups, that was the main reason why. But before we knew it, we were on our way, and it didn't take long before we arrived at our first destination for the day. So we're here, we're at the first stop. I think it's one of the pagodas, and I think there's a group of about 24 of us, so it's a bit more people than I expected that we was going to have. But the sites look amazing already. We're just strolling through now, and we'll listen to the guide on the way around and see what happens.
This area is called Chùa Big Dog. Chùa means pagoda. Big Dog means green cave. Here there's a pagoda in the cave. Around the cave is green area. It's a worship place for Buddhas and his disciples. And temple is called Đền. It's a worship place for kings, heroes, gods, etc. Today we're gonna visit one pagoda and one temple.
Just walking up a bunch of steps up the side of one of these mountains now to get to the next pagoda. Pre-warm up for the 500 steps we've got to climb to the top in a bit. Yeah, well, this wasn't even close to being a warm-up for what is to come. We reach the first pagoda built into the side of the mountain. We take a peek through the window areas as we're not allowed to venture inside. Right beside it is a crack in the rock and our next path to find the pagoda's inside. It's not that dark in here once you walk in. The light coming through. I suppose if you get here early morning, it might be a little bit different. I don't know why, but I feel like I've got to be quiet. It's like a respectful thing around here. The caves, as probably could have been predicted, is full of bats. It's pretty large in here, and just on the other side is the next pagoda. We see the sunlight coming through and head outside again to climb more steps to the last one we would be visiting here. So that was it for this one, the 4 pagodas. We're heading back down to the bus now. Cave stinks of bats. Reminds me of the smell of the Angkor Wat temple areas with the bats inside there and everything. I tell you what, I'm absolutely sweating. It is a hot day today. And we're jumping back on the buses now to the next place, which I think is 15 minutes away. It is boiling hot. I think it's going to go up to 40 degrees again today. I am sweating my arse off. So we're here, next destination. This is the climb up to the steps, and I saw it on the way in and it looks pretty high to be fair, so we'll see how this goes. We've just gone through the ticket bit now. We are on our way in, ready to start the bottom of the 500 steps all the way to the top. From here it looks really high, so this should be fun. As you walk in, there's loads of little shops and restaurants and things, and then there's some like bamboo bridges over that way I can see just through the trees. Don't know if we'll get to have a look at them in a bit. This is all on the way, on the walk up to the 500 steps of the mountain. There are some like little stop off points which are pretty cool to take photos and stuff. You can see like the rivers and the streams that are going through it, but the problem is being on a group tour, you're walking through everything that fast that you can't exactly stop in your own time, because you'll fall too far behind the group, which is a bit of a shame. From what we've done so far and what I've seen so far, I think this would have been beneficial to do by myself. Last chance is to get some drinks and sustenance before you do your major climb. So here we go, a bit of a bonus, starting the 500 steps, but we're actually meeting everyone down at the bottom again after, which means we can do this bit on our own instead of following the tour at that pace. We can do it at our own pace. So it should take about 50 minutes to get up, down, see the views and that. So here we go, let's go. There's a couple of little photo stop-off points on the way. You see behind me the views, which is probably good because you'd be knackered if you went all the way up. Breathing starting already. Here we go.
This was turning out to be more of a workout than I expected. I mean, I'm not the most insane athlete in the world, but I'm not unfit either. I just didn't even think about this before, but I can tell you that I am now, that is for sure.
Nearly at the top now. Breathing just about recovered with a couple of minutes break. Not far. Some of the steps you have to like stretch to get your legs up. And big ass steps. And they're getting steeper by the looks of it. Nearly there. Deep breathing. Knackered. Drained. But let's have a look at the view. That's what we come up here for. That's what the effort was for. Right, that's the highest one. What I think I'm going to do is there's one to the left that's a little bit lower down, not too much. But it looks like there's barely anyone on that one. So let's get sweating again. Out of breath. Joy, I've just recovered. And do the other one. 500 steps to get up. 1,000 steps to get down. It's more knackering getting up, but it's more awkward getting down. Steps are like massive drops. Heading back up to the next one now, and my legs are starting to hate me. I think they thought that we were done and we were going back down. Nope, not yet. One more. Keep going, buddy. You can do this. It's funny watching everyone motivate themselves to get up to the top when they're at the last few steps. You can do this. We're nearly there. So now at the top of the second one, as promised, there's less people up here. So it's better. Drained again, had to take another break. Couldn't speak. My Fitbit heart rate must be through the roof. Now I've got to get all the way back down in 15-20 minutes. Should be doable. It's just more awkward to get down. It's like knackering to get up, awkward to get down because the steps are pretty deep. So here we go. Okay, so this is on my phone because it's that hot. I'm not just overheating, my camera's overheated as well. This is so awkward getting back down. Done the knackering part, now it's the awkward bit. That's the bottom, people. Made it. So we did it. Made it to the top, made it to the bottom. That was a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. I feel happy that I've done it. The views are absolutely spectacular and it's 100% worth it. But every single person that has gone up there is absolutely dying. I seen one psychopath that was running up there, I think. Fair play to him. And I'm looking forward to actually sitting on a bus all day tomorrow because I don't think I'll be able to walk anyway. And the guy's just come up to me and asked if I've been round to this cave. So we'll do this while we wait for the others to get back. That to me looks like the cave. And to be fair, there's a bit more of a breeze around here, coming off the water and everything as well. So, joy. Duck you in here. The amount of time look crap weird or something. I've got a helmet on, and now I haven't. And the doors are locked. So that was pointless. Oh, look how red my face is. How much I'm sweating. It's mental. It's like 40 odd degrees now. Looks like my face is going to explode.
So this was just a turning point off the main cave pathway, but once I headed to the other side, the view of the nature was breathtaking.
Look at that. Through a cave and into the jungle. To be honest, when we first started on the first bit with the pagodas and we're following the tour guide, we're stopping talking about the history. It's nice enough, but it's not my sort of thing. with all the stuff that I like to do with like the adventure stuff and that. So I'd rather do it on my own. But it's not too bad now because we've come to this bit and we've had free reign to kind of do what we want till a certain time. So it's just got a lot better. Let's see what the next one's like after lunch, and the boat is the bit I'm looking forward to the most, so hopefully that's good.
Once again back in the van to head off to the temples this time.
So third stop now, stopped on the entrance on the way in, and the guide, who's got really good English, is giving us like a history lesson of like the dynasty and everything on the way.
But when you go to the temple of the general, you don't see dragon design, because he was the general of the king. So the dragon is a symbol of the king.
Another quick history lesson, and now we're walking in through to the main temple, I believe. The nature around here is amazing. It makes everything look beautiful. So you're surrounded by the mountains on the outside, and then you've got the gardens of all this and your little entrances. You walk through here and we slowly make our way down to the main gate.
There are a few different temples dotted around the entire complex for different generals and kings of the dynasty. We checked out a couple of them, but apart from their history, they all look pretty similar, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's a lot more meaning to some of the details inside the temples, but that I have no idea about. Now it was time to head out and to the last main attraction of the day, the boat ride on the river around the stunning limestone cliffs and mountains, and arguably the main attraction of Ninh Binh.
So we're at the last stop now, and it's the boat, and we've just been given the option to do 1 hour or 2 hour, and everyone's voted for 2 hours. Well, the majority voted for 2 hours. They were just wary about the sun being that hot and sitting on the boat for 2 hours. I believe you get an umbrella between a couple of you anyway, and there's 4 people on each boat. I'm not gonna lie, I am absolutely drained as well. The sun is beating hot, and doing that hike as well has taken out of me, but this is the part I wanted to see the most, so this should be stunning. Yeah, it's a long day, but it's worth it.
We climbed into the boats with 4 of us in each, and our superhuman rower at the back, and with my new boat friend Perle from the Philippines.
I'll be in your vlog.
Why not?
Who has actually helped me out with some travels there you may get to see in the future. We headed off to explore the rivers through the mountains of Ninh Binh. As I mentioned, we had settled on 2 hours as a group, which gave us more than enough time to enjoy all of the sights on the way. But if you pick the longer 3 hour option, you can stop at certain areas, get out and have a look around. But after the day's events, and this being the last of them, 3 hours was going to be a bit too much for everyone, and it probably would be getting darker at that point as well. The sights around were incredible. There are of course a few other tourist boats on the way as you go, because this is one of the top attractions here. But you still feel the peace of it all as everyone just basks in the silence of nature, just listening to the mountains and the soft paddle of the oars in and out of the water. We reached structures in the centre of the lake, as well as mountains in the shape of an eagle. Our guide pointed this out, saying bird, bird.
I was actually trying to look for a bird.
It took me longer than I would like to admit to realise she meant the actual shape of the mountain. The lakes took us through caves under the mountains. Very low caves, I might add. If you weren't concentrating, you definitely could have a few problems. But every time we came out the other side, the beauty we opened into took us by surprise each and every time. There were sites dotted on the banks of the river that were great to see in between the natural nature surroundings, and we even made friends with other boats of Vietnamese travellers.
Now they're ignoring me. They don't care anymore. I think it's at that point when they turn around and go.
2 hours seemed like it could be a really long time once we initially got into the boat and felt that sun coming down on us. But with the protection of the umbrellas, the time actually flew by. And before we knew it, we were at the end of the trip. The day was done and we headed back to our individual accommodations. All in all, at the end of the day, that was not a bad tour at all. I definitely recommend you come to Ninh Binh if you are in Vietnam or on your next trip. Definitely do the 500 steps. Yes, it was harder than I thought it was going to be, but you can stop off in between. Any level of fitness, you'll be able to do it and it's worth it. And of course, you have to do the boat trip on the river through the mountains. That is the main thing to do here, and the camera does not do it justice. Wait till you see it in person. Next up, I am off to the city in the fog for my biggest challenge yet, and I hope to see you there. Peace.